Good afternoon, everyone. Today we are going to be completing clue 3 of the Quilting Bee virtual shop hop. This is what the block is going to look like. I went on and put my pieces on my workboard so I can do these in panels. This is my second time to try to do this because something happened to my mic on the first video. So I'm hoping there's no sound problems. It literally went out. So we're going to go on and get on to this and see how quick we can get it done. So we are going to grab our top left corner square and our background piece, center background piece. And I need to reposition my needle because every time I cut my machine off, it goes back to the default position, which is 0, 0, and I need it at 6.5, so I know that I'm at 1/4 of an inch. Okay, so we're going to go in and get this panel done. Okay, and what we're going to do after we do that piece is we're going to take the bottom left piece and we're going to flip it up. And we're going to match our edges here. Just going to put that under there, drop the needle, drop the foot, do one back stitch to get us all the way back. Now we do have seams that are pressed upward here, so what I'm going to do is just lay my scissors here. And what that does is it keeps it going straight under the needle. Okay, so we got that unit done, and I'm going to iron all of them at the end. And notice I have the dark green and the light green. I'm alternating the dark green on the top left, bottom right, and the light green on the bottom left, top right. And my pinks, notice they are light to dark also from outside to inside. So the next piece we do is our center piece, which is a background piece and a snowball unit, and we're just going to match these edges and sew this. So how's everybody doing today? Y'all having good weather or hot weather here in Northeast Louisiana? We are having, believed I looked and saw it was 107. I can't seem to get this straight here. It wants to go crossways here. I'll just get my needle in it and then. Yeah, we're having 107-degree days and it is unbearable outside. It literally is awful outside. Okay, we got that one with our snowball. So next thing we're going to do is grab the next background piece and we're going to flip it there. And I can tell which is the front and the back because this does have white snowflakes on it. You may not be able to see it but on the camera, but here I can tell where it is going. So, and I hope the sound is okay for you all. When I was editing the last video, which took an hour, well, it took all night because when I got up this morning, it was still uploading. And when it got uploaded, I noticed when I started editing, okay, that's done. When I started editing it, we're going to take the right top corner and the center background piece. Anyway, when I started editing it, I noticed the sound on the first half had really big sound waves, and on the latter part of it, literally after I ironed my first piece, that's why I'm waiting to iron them all at one time, my sound apparently went out. I have a little mic here. It does show on, so I'm hoping y'all are getting good sound and not just the sewing machine sound. But anyway, here in Louisiana, it is quite balmy. It's very, very hot. Okay, and now we're going to take the last piece here, the bottom right corner, and we're going to put it on, match up our edges. There is one more step of the step 3, but it is half square triangles, and I'm not going to do that one on video. I'm just going to do the blocks and a lot of the little pieces that I put together, because I'm really not able to give you like the sizes and stuff. So it's just a hey, come watch me sew video. But if you are interested in this pattern, it's at BellaRoseQuilts.com. I did see it on there. I went and checked their website and did see it on there. Okay, so that's our third piece. And I must have put that on upside down. I did. I'm going to have to rip. Because notice my pinks are, well, my thing is actually going the wrong direction too, so. But Bella Rose Quilts, I did look, and it is on their website. It is called Pretty Poinsettia. And I think I saw a table runner on there, which this, if I had thought about it, I would have just waited and done the table runner. But I was so interested in doing this. This is the first shop hop I've ever been part of, shopped on, and really enjoyed myself immensely. I'm waiting on one more package to come in, and I'll show you guys what I got. Okay, so I'm having to turn my square this way. I had it this way. That's not correct. It has to go this way. So I'm going to just match up the edges here now. Put it back under the sewing machine and get to going. I'll get all them little tidbits of thread out when I trim everything up. Okay, now we have that done. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to iron, because it makes it so much easier to piece together all of these pieces here if it's ironed. So the outer blocks are going, and I'm going to put you over here so you see exactly. I've got to move my stuff up here out of my way. I don't know if you'll be able to see me do this, but I am going to move my little, this is a Cricut heat press pad, so that's what I'm using. Oh, that is way different. Let me look at this block, because these were supposed to be 6.5 by 6.5, and this block is extremely long there. It's showing 6.5. Oh no, that on the outside is showing a little bit bigger. So I'm actually going to trim that down. I'm not going to try to sew the panels together with that piece longer. I'm actually going to do that before I even press it, because no sense in pressing it if it's not the correct length. So we got my 6.5 here. some reason it's not showing that it's off that bad, but when that does not match up, it's bad. But, and it wasn't off the whole way down, it was just off that one little section, but it's trimmed now. Let me make sure it's all at 6.5. Okay, I thought I trimmed all these pieces, but I might have missed this one, because I know I had all of my pieces at 6.5 inches squared. So now what we're going to do is press these seams into the center piece. How I do that, I just lay it flat here. I take my iron and press up. I know you can't really see that because my hand and my iron is in the way, but maybe you can see that there. Okay, so then I turn it this way, this other direction, and while I'm doing this, I'm trimming too. So I'm going to lay it this way. Let me see if I can get it to where you can see a little bit more of it. Well, I think I'm just, okay, well, we're just going to do it. And then I press this up. And both of the side pieces are the same way. You press both of those towards the center piece. And that will make, I just like doing it like this because it seems to get my seam there flatter if I do that, because it's like I'm pressing the seam from the, and I never even press the back, which is, I know a lot of people are probably thinking that's crazy, but I never press that back because I don't have to. Okay, and this one here, it's going to press to the background and not the center now. So how we do that is I have to remember this here. Okay, for this one I have to lay that piece down and then just turn it over this way and do this background piece. Okay, so our next step is we are going to connect the far left panel to this center panel, like this. We are going to have 2 seams to nest. Now, I know most of you probably know what nesting is, but I am going to tell you I did not have a clue when I started picking this back up. I had to learn all of this, and I don't want you to be confused in what I'm showing you. So let me get my little heat pad out of the way there. So I'm going to give you some explanations, maybe of things that I realized when I started back sewing, because I've never quilted, and I didn't know a lot of the terms. Just like in this pattern here, it had HST, and I didn't for the life of me know what that was. So I called one of my seasoned quilting friends, and I asked her, I said, I have this in my pattern, and I don't have a clue what it means. Okay, and when I'm putting this under my sewing machine now, I'm only focused on this first nested seam right here. And what a nested seam is, it's where the 2 seams come together, and the top one is pressed one way and the bottom is pressed the other way. And when you nest those seams together, you can tell, I mean, it is like smooth as butter going over them. So I'm just making sure it literally does not feel like there's a seam there. It feels like it's all one piece of fabric. And I'm going to go on and get this nested seam. And you want your seams to nest really well. So what I'm doing right now is I'm just double checking to make sure I have that seam nested properly. Getting my other straight strands out of the way. Because I want that to lay perfectly flat there. And these nested seams, when you have points and stuff, this is what makes your points match up. So let me get this nested seam together now. For some reason my fabric's wanting to scooch up there. And I'm not sure why. And I did notice for some reason on this snowball square, for some reason my machine wanted to corkscrew at it. And I just didn't understand. Now this one seems like it's off a little bit. But I'm going to press that up to where it's right on it. Okay, and once I get the needle in that seam, then I'm coming over here and making sure my edges are. Now that's probably not going to match up very well right there, but let's hope. Okay, and here's another seam that is pressed up. It's on the bottom, so what I did is I just made sure it was in the correct position before letting it go under my needle and being sewed there. So let's see what that one looks like. Yeah, that didn't nest at all. That was as far from nesting as it could get. And see, when it nests properly, you don't get that issue right there. But it didn't nest properly. I couldn't get that to match up for some reason. But, okay. So the next thing we're going to do is take our next panel, because I'm not going to worry about that. It will come out in the wash. I'm not worried. So we do that top seam again. We make sure to nest it really well. I think it might have had something to do with my fabric wanted to jut off to the left side of my machine, and I'm not sure why it did that. But I did notice when I sewed the other one, it did the same thing. Apparently I was able to control it better and didn't realize I was controlling it. I'm making sure. I'm feeling that seam right there again, making sure that is nested. Okay, I could, and you can feel it when it nests because it goes perfectly flat. You don't even feel a ripple in it. And I'm going to get my finger out of the way here, but I'm going to hold it with my scissors there. Okay, then we're going to get this second seam, which doesn't feel like it's going to nest very well either, but this fabric is pretty stretchy. I may be able to get it to act right. Okay, I'm hoping this is gonna work here. And funny thing, I didn't have all of this trouble nesting in the last video, but my goodness, my sound went out. I guess I'm gonna have to keep checking to make sure I'm charged, because I thought I was charged, and I must not have been yesterday. It must have died on me, and I don't know how to tell if my mic is picking up or not, because I'm still new to this audio video stuff. It's okay, I just got to sew another square. It is quite aggravating though after you wait all night long. Oops, I'm shaking you there. So now what we are going to do, let me move my board out of the way because I do need my instructions over here. Because it tells me, okay, we're going to iron both of these seams toward the center. So how we do that, now this is bigger than my pad, so I'm going to have to do half of it and then the other half. I'm just cleaning up my strings here. Okay. Now I do remember when I was sewing the other block that snowballed piece, it did give me trouble. But I will say, you know, that's the first snowball pieces I've ever done. So they're not perfect, but it's the first ones I've ever done. And I am perfectly fine with that because you know what? It's going to be my quilt for Christmas time and my recliner with my grandbabies here. I have a grandbaby that is due very, very soon. This month actually. It's August. And I actually talked to my daughter-in-law earlier today. She had a doctor's appointment earlier today and she said everything is still good. Her husband, my son, is in the Army and he's gone away for field training. So yeah, that's going to be something because I just noticed something here. I've got blocks all wrong on this. I don't know if anybody noticed, but I just noticed this. Look at that. That pink is in the wrong place. This one, the light pink to dark pink, is wrong. I'm going to have to unpiece this one and turn it. But I'm not going to worry about. I don't know. I may. But anyway, this is the block that we're making. I have to make 5 of these. And this is the 3rd one. I'm hoping not to find this many mistakes on the rest of them. But you know what? Quilting is all about learning and putting that puzzle piece together. And if you get it puzzle piece in the wrong spot the first time, just try it over. Do it again. I don't mind sewing it again because I'm really enjoying sewing this. So guys, if you like this type of content, please give me a thumbs up, subscribe, and if you want to see my new content as it's uploaded, please click on that notification bell and you'll receive a notification every time I upload a new video. And if you'd like, give me a comment. That would be great. I'd love to hear from you. Tell me what your weather's like. Like I said, it's 107. I think it was 106. I think they said it was going to be 106 today. So we're just trying to survive right now in this heat. Just tell me how your weather is. And as always, until next time, have a very blessed day. Goodbye.